Thank you for pressing play. The content you're about to hear is all produced by The Coffee Show, a weekly radio program.
Welcome to The Coffee Show world of content. That guy over there is Randy.
Hi, and he's Keith.
Hi. The Coffee Show is a weekly radio program of extemporaneous comedy and great music that we have been doing for a very long time.
Since 1992, even.
Before our voices changed, all the rest of our worlds changed.
Keith, I'll tell you what hasn't changed, and that's that the whole time we've been on KGLT, which, if you're not familiar with it, is a non-commercial radio station. So as part of it, you won't hear advertisements, but you may hear us reference specific underwriters on the show.
That's right. They do the good work supporting that great nonprofit venture. You will hear us also reference the songs that were played on this week's show, but because of copyright issues, we will not be able to play those songs for you.
Yeah, we cut out all that content so you can focus on what's important, and that's, of course, our inane chatter. Without further ado, please enjoy this week's content, this week's issuance, these utterances.
Enjoy this week's extemporaneous offering. Please don't listen at 1.5.
Not for the weak, not for the meek, for the men in fedora hats. Randy and Keith, Wednesdays at 3, tune it in KGLT. Coffee show fans apply. Coffee show fans inquire inside.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our friends beyond the gender binary. It's sometime in the 3 o'clock hour here on KGLT, KGLZ, and KGLT.net, which means it is time for The Coffee Show with me and my friend Chop Chop Master Onion. Oh, no, wait, that's Randy. Hi, Randy.
Hi, Keith. Are you the rapper in this instance?
Well, no, I like to think of myself as Jammer Lammy.
Oh, okay. Well, just in either case, don't push square when you intend to push triangle.
It's true.
That's all the rap advice you need. Grandmaster Flash would tell you the same.
He would. Grandmaster Flash and Grandmaster Onion.
One of them smells onionier. I'll let you figure out for yourself which one.
I'll never tell. It was a special day in the studio.
I appreciate, Keith, that you're cool about keeping secrets, like which rappers smell like onions, which rappers don't smell like onions. All of it seems to be just secrets about that, as far as I know. You'll blab about pretty much anything else.
Anything else, but the secret onion rapper knowledge I keep to myself. You know who doesn't smell like onions? Most rappers. So we've got that going for you. Except for Nelly. When it got hot in there and he took off all his clothes.
It was like layers of an onion, all his clothes.
It was, he had a lot of them. And then we all started to cry because it was like a direct sun farmer's market afternoon.
Yeah, I know I can't trust you with other secrets, like you're always blabbing about like office water cooler kind of gossipy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who was or wasn't invited to a party, or who got a new tattoo at Program Underwriter Bozeman's Tattoo Alley.
Did you hear Gil from accounting got a really sweet rainbow tattooed on the small of his back?
That's pretty cool. Did you hear about Beyonce? She got the tattoo. If you like it, you should have put an onion ring on it.
I mean, she is both good at rapping and enjoys fried food, I assume. Who doesn't?
Yeah. And she smells like onions afterwards, which, that's another added bonus.
I'll never tell. Three songs from the 1980s and one song from last year. You just heard Daddy's Highway by the Bats from New Zealand. We started off that set of songs with Falling Down the Stairs by the brilliant Australian new wave band Even As We Speak. After that, Rose McDowell with her song Cut with the Cake Knife from the album of the same name. And one new song by En Entendant Anna from France, which I think is named that way to make me sound like an idiot when I say it on the radio. You heard their song Ada, Mary, and Diane.
You know what else is from the 1980s? It's pretty cool.
You?
No, I'm from not from the 1980s. I was around during them.
Yeah.
all of them. But yeah.
A child of them.
It's obviously program underwriter Columbo's Pizza and Pasta, serving house-made pasta and pizza from brick ovens.
If I may shamelessly plug, congratulations to Columbo's on the opening of their new tap room and soda fountain, The Break Room, located just 4 doors down from Columbo's Pizza in the same building. It looks like a lot of fun, and I can't wait to go in there and avail myself of frosty beverages and food.
I went on Friday. It was great.
You have the glow about you of a person who has finally been to the break room.
Don't everyone try and shake my hand at once, but yes, I was there.
Don't worry, folks. I'll cut off a lock of Randy's hair and keep it forever.
Where are you going to put it when you save my lock of hair? Do you have like a lock of hair collection book that, has a little slot for each lock of hair, and then you can write the name of the person on a card that goes in behind it? Or do you just keep it loose in a Ziploc baggie? Or what's your approach, Keith, with the creepy lock of hair?
Cram each one into a Trapper Keeper folder in my Trapper Keeper of hair. No, that's the joke I'm making, but in actuality, I will put it into a hermetically sealed vial and keep it in my genetics laboratory for the inevitable day that I will need to clone people.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you'd need to clone me for is, there's not really a compelling reason. It's a very expensive process, Keith. I can't think of any reason.
Oh, I need someone to beat me at Mortal Kombat 2.
Right. You got to teach that clone. He doesn't know out of the vat, how to do that.
That's a good question. Will the hair retain all of your memories of video games?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure, the clone retains that Scorpion's fatality is hold block, hit up twice, and then high punch, but he doesn't know the distance at which to perform said fatality. No. What a fool.
Stay in your lane, clone.
Yeah, only some things are retained genetically. Not all things.
Not all things. I guess I'll just have to carve out your hypothalamus as well.
That's fair. I've been expecting this, so let's get to it. It's finally time. Now, do you also have a separate booklet with page pockets for your hypothalamus collection?
Yes. I slice it very thin, and I put it into...
you just take it down to the local Subway restaurant shop, and you...
Yep.
You ask them to put it through the slicer?
The Arby's. Yeah. I don't even degrease their slicer first. And then, like those penny collectors folders that everyone has and has only put 8 pennies in and then forgets to keep putting pennies in, unless they're very serious nerds. Right. I have a booklet like that, only with slightly bigger cutout areas in which to smush pieces of hypothalami.
I just resize. I get one of those state quarter maps that has a slot cut out for each quarter. Mm-hmm. And I've paid a printing company to resize that down to penny sized, so that the actual whole poster is a little bit smaller, but that's okay. And I just go around and get a penny from each state and put it in there, and then I just wait for inflation to do its thing.
Or alternatively, I can also take the slices of hypothalamus and then put them in my food dehydrator like brain shrinky dinks, and then I've got tiny little ones that fit directly into the binders.
Oh, that's fun and probably smells gross.
Well, I didn't say I don't constantly smell like onions.
Truer claim has never been made.
Well, I think by the end of this week's coffee show, Randy is going to be so tired of me that he will need to fill his nostrils with the wonderful scent of program underwriter Ghost Town Coffee Roasters, featuring locally roasted specialty coffee, coffee equipment, barista training, and fresh food to go from the cafe.
I like the fresh food to go because then you don't have to wait to be seated.
I know how much you hate standing.
I wait to be seated in the seat of the car in which I'll be leaving with my fresh food to go. If you could please show me to my seat. Thank you. Oh, here it is, the steering wheel. I'll drive off now. Thank you.
Randy's waiting outside in a taxi.
Here's a little something for the help. Thank you.
This is a penny. That's not a good
No,
tip.
It's just garbage. It's garbage from the floor of the car. I just scoop up some garbage and I say, this is for you, for your help. I'm not welcome back most places.
No, I was going to say traditionally, when you say something like that, it means you're giving someone a monetary tip, not that you are giving someone a further chore.
But it confuses them just long enough so you can drive off while they're stuck, holding the garbage once again.
This is how you got fired from being a substitute teacher, too. You kids have all been so well behaved this week, I thought we'd do something special. Here's a little something for you. And you wheel in a cart, the movie cart, and kids think, oh, we're going to watch a movie, maybe The Princess Bride or Beauty and the Beast or something fun, the last unicorn. And then Randy turns it towards himself, plugs it in, and hands everyone mops and buckets and says, you get to clean the room while I watch my favorite movie. What is your favorite movie? Die Hard 2?
No, it's not Die Hard 2. Come on, Keith. Die Hard 2?
I know.
The one in the airport? No. It's not even my favorite movie set in an airport, Keith.
I know that one, of course, is The Airport with Tom Hanks.
No, that's called The Terminal.
The Terminal, yeah, that's right.
Come up with, and no, it's Airport 76.
Oh no,
yeah, they made Airplane after.
Yes,
just because of what it has borne,
That's
no.
fair.
The main thing that I got with my habit of giving away garbage is that I got fired from my position as a sanitation engineer because I was apparently supposed to pick up the garbage. I don't know. I wasn't there long enough to really figure it out.
And this is why we always know whose Secret Santa is Randy every year. Because
Merry Christmas! Your mailbox is full to the brim with trash. There's some used gift cards in there.
that is a band called I Don't Know How But They Found Me. Their song New Invention is from their most recent record, Razzmatazz. Came out a couple years ago and is one of my favorite records of that time. Before that, you heard the band They Might Be Giants, a rarity here on The Coffee Show. Their song You Probably Get That a Lot, from their album Join Us, which may be my current favorite They Might Be Giants record.
Oh, you can't just say something like that without ordering all of the rest of them, Keith. So either retract it or list all of the They Might Be Giants albums in order from favorite to least.
Excluding compilations? This is really hard. You're putting me on the spot. All right. Favorite albums by They Might Be Giants?
I didn't think you were actually going to go through with this. This is amazing.
Yeah, current standing, Join Us, closely followed by Flood, of course, a classic and my entry point into the band. After that, I have hugely enjoyed, there's so many things that are sort of compilations that are also albums. All right, give me 1 second. I'm not even looking at anything online. Randy can assure you he sees me just searching my mind palace, which in my case is just a giant records room with a big ladder on wheels, like a Victorian library. Okay, it would be Join Us, Flood, Apollo 18, then probably, honestly, My Murdered Remains and The More Murdered Remains, if I'm allowed to have those. Then Lincoln. Their first album, honestly, the self-titled record kind of comes pretty far down. Actually, I think I would go Lincoln, Glean, first album. Then I do hate to do it to you, but I'm a grown-up and I am childless. So their educational albums, Here Come the ABCs, Here Come the 1, 2, 3s, and Here Comes Science. Here Comes Science would be top before those. Oh, I did lose track of one a little farther back. Factory Showroom, I think, would be after Lincoln, but before their first record. And then also I would follow it up with the children's albums, No and Why, would probably come before the educational records as well. I think that's it that goes for canon albums. No, I missed the Else and the Spine. Drat.
And Mink Carr.
I did. I missed a bunch. Okay, I can't do it off the top of my head.
So none of this counted for anything.
None of this will be in the show.
Maybe this will end up as an extra for YouTube or something, but that doesn't count if you don't get all the albums. Come on, Keith. Even dare to call yourself a fan.
Aren't you glad you came into the coffee show world of content to hear Keith screw up that he's not even as nerdy as he says he is?
And for the listeners who got to hear that, fantastic. And for those of you that didn't, it's not the fault of the program underwriters, that's for sure. They let you bring all the content you want. But we do have to thank program underwriter Neptune's Brewery. Thanks, Neptune.
Thank you, Neptune. Yeah. Well, I'll put Randy on the spot with one of his favorite things. Randy, will you rank the Star Wars movies in your order of preference?
Sure. So I'm going to go Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope. I'm going to go Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and then the sequel trilogy in order.
Oh, wow. At the bottom, after the prequels.
Yep.
And then what about all the other side movies that you forgot to rank?
Side movies. I mean, Rogue One is up probably in the top 4. Solo's probably in the bottom 6 or 7. Do we want to include things like Ewok Adventure and Battle for Endor?
The Clone Wars animated
movie. The animated. I put that more in with the series, but...
It was a theatrically released movie that I saw in theaters.
It was a feature film. That's true.
It was a feature-length movie.
That's true. I saw it in a theater. I don't know about you. Actually, I do know about you because you were right there next to me.
I was when we reviewed movies for KGLT.
And we were some of the few people in the theater at the time. Amazing.
Yes. A movie theater that we went one night to watch a movie and then found out they had closed down the theater. I don't think it was our fault.
Closed.
And then turned into a grocery store and a attached brewery that are both awesome.
Hey, there's a cell phone place in there too.
Oh yeah, there is.
Don't forget.
Cell phone. That was my cell phone.
You can still get some movie theater candy at the grocery store.
Sure.
But if you're gonna buy the buttered popcorn elements separately.
Yeah. Do they have a big box of snow caps?
They have a very confused Carmike Cinemas name tag wearing employee in there. I think he's lost, doesn't want to say anything, and
what happened?
He just keeps sneaking food.
Oh man, I got thrown out of that theater so many times as a kid.
You did?
A couple at least, yeah.
Why? Were you sneaking in food?
A couple of times, yes. One of the times for making fun of their no sneaking in food policy when we had not snuck in any food.
Sure.
A couple of times for running around and making noise.
Wow, that's some serious misbehavior, Keith.
I know.
I'm disappointed in you. Allow me to extend your mother's disappointment.
You know how it is with like little kids or me when I was 19. Like you just got to run around. It's like, okay, people were trying to watch Schindler's List, but I was just like had to run through the aisles for a little bit going, ah!
You got dropped off early by your parents and you got a huge bag of Twizzlers and finished them all before even the previews started before the movie.
Yep.
And then, you were like drinking soda through the Twizzlers like a straw and it's just more sugar. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know why you couldn't sit still for the feature.
I got thrown out of there a lot. Maybe the manager just didn't like me.
You sure enjoyed the first 5 minutes of the movie Tootsie, starring Dustin Hoffman, though. Just a movie about a guy as far
about
as
a struggling actor, yeah.
What's
the rest of that movie? Was it good? I don't know.
I assume it's sponsored by the Tootsie Roll Company. Otherwise, why that name? It doesn't make any sense.
I assume nothing problematic and dated occurred in it as it went on.
Definitely not. It's fine.
This is why I stick to only safe bets now, and my mom only drops me off at program underwriter Whistle Pig Korean.
Now, Keith, when you're in there, be sure to be nice to the people behind the counter and say please and thank you.
They didn't have any buttered popcorn, so I caused a scene.
Yeah, you don't even have Twizzlers. What is this? No Goobers? No Sour Patch Kids?
This movie is boring. It's just people eating. Is this my dinner with Andre? This movie sucks.
Spoiler alert, you're Andre.
I want to be Wallace Shawn.
You were Andre the whole time.
I see Andre. What? Can we do all moot lines like spoiler lines from movies? They're just
about
my dinner with Andre. Andre was the sled.
He's here.
Luke, Andre is your father. Dine with me if you want to live. Get to the dinner. Andre kills Dumbledore.
You'll believe a man can talk.
It's true. Superman, the original Superman, yes. Start that batch of tunes with Patrick and Eugene and their song The Birds and the Bees. After that, Professor Elemental with his Paean to Tea, a song called Cup of Brown Joy. And that last track is a remix of The Jubilaires by British producing group Ski Whiff. The song's called Brother Noah. Dates back to, I think, the late 40s or the very early 50s and is widely regarded as, if you had to pinpoint it, the very first rap song. It is not the first hip-hop song. That is the first song with someone functionally rapping as opposed to singing the lead line.
That's a hotly contested title, I imagine.
Yes.
Widely debated.
Oh, of course. Much like everyone will wonder what was the first modern novel, and everyone will disagree forever. That's just mine as an English major. I'm sure there's something from yours as well. Like what do people in design argue about who actually made up Comic Sans?
No, that's well settled.
Dave Sands, right?
Yeah, he was a stand-up comic named Dave Sands.
It's a good thing he had that work in typography to fall back on.
Of course, Keith, the first modern novel is Danielle Steele's Invisible.
It's a big swing.
It's from 2022. It's extremely modern.
Very modern, yeah. Roses in the Attic, or that's not Danielle Steele, though.
No, that's...
but whomever.
Something Andrews?
Yeah, J.C. Andrews, something like that?
W.C. Andrews?
Sure,
No.
Water Closet Andrews. Oh, we called her. It's
One of them Andrews.
not
anyway.
even worth having talked about. Sure. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Tale of Genshi, Don Quixote, leave them aside. And instead, Danielle Steele's most recent.
Never heard of those other ones you mentioned. So, yeah.
I'd say you're right. I will tear up my English literature degree the minute we're done recording.
Don Quixote, I always tilt away from windmills because of the wind. That's how windmills work, right? They generate,
They
it's like
generate
a giant
wind.
fan.
Yeah, that's what people think. Yeah.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. That's right. Mythbusters, Randy and I are putting more myths out there. Wait a minute. That makes me think of another bit. Welcome to Randy the Fibsmith, that part of the show where Randy makes up a fib, a flub, or a downright slanderous and actionable lie about the origin of something from our daily lives and popular culture. Good afternoon, Randy the Fibsmith.
Oh, Keith, good afternoon. Thank you.
It's great to have you back again, joining us to perpetuate more misinformation and disinformation in a world entirely too plagued with verisimilitude and truth.
Yeah, I got banned from social media for a while because they were checking facts for a while, but I guess that's over, so I'm back.
Hooray!
And Fibsmith is back for good.
Fibs abound, fibs galore, but at least we're telling you at the start that these are not true. What is this week's requested fib?
Now, this week's requested fib is the concept of red tape and how gosh darn hard it is to cut through all of it.
Yeah.
Because you get layers and layers of it. Well, red tape is used to describe bureaucracy and, when there's too much meddling politically over anything specific. So the simple fact is, once it gets to the point in a bureaucracy where they're using red tape, it's because everything else tape-wise has been used for other projects. All the other tape options get used up first, especially if it's a bureaucracy where it's mandated that the tape gets used in certain ways and on certain things. And when all that's left is the red tape, it's because of those meddling politicians up to no good. Well, that's a reason that would make sense, but it isn't the genuine Fibsmith-approved explanation. Now, here's the real reason.
Okay, the real fake reason.
Think back to like the 50s, 60s, 70s in the White House. Now, in order to ease communication in high-tension situations of Russian-American interactions, the president's desk had a specific phone line direct to the Kremlin called the Red Phone. And in order for the very public office to have matching office supplies, which is important when you're a public-facing office to look professional, the president determined that it would be best to add, like a red letter opener for all his red letters, and a red pen set to write on, whatever, and a small bottle of Red Out. Just all his office supplies had to be matching color to match the crimson hue of the phone. Of course, nowadays, the president communicates with Russia via email or via cell phone, or unfortunately not at all. And as such, the once popular red office accessories have fallen out of use. But on the bright side for that, the red tape can now be used to safely mark off gigantic holes in the wall caused by the Kool-Aid Man until a carpenter can come and safely rebuild it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, says the carpenter. I just finished building this wall. Oh, yeah.
Sweet government contract. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna keep this red tape for myself. It's valuable.
Yeah, he unzips his smock, and underneath he's just 3 thirsties.
Yes. He's got a red tape measure. It's good.
Well, I assume there will now be a red tape scare, but thank you, Randy. Thank you, Randy the Fibsmith. If someone wanted to request a fib, whence would they do so?
I don't know. You're in charge of that. I can't see them before I write them. So,
that's true. I guess if you want to submit a fib to Randy the Fibsmith, you can email us at coffeeshowemail@gmail.com. It sounds fake, but it's real. coffeeshowemail@gmail.com.
That's how you know it's Fibsmith approved. It sounds fake.
It sounds fake. And I will really ignore it. No, just kidding. That was a fib. I'll read your request. Thank you, Randy, and thank you so much, listeners, for joining us this week. It's always been a pleasure and privilege to play music for you and to joke around and have a grand old time here on KGLT, the greatest radio station in the universe. Keep listening for more fantastic programming until your radio shorts out, and then go throw it in the dumpster and get another radio and keep listening to KGLT.
Go down to the radio store and give them a stern talking to about this radio shorting out. I bought this thing in 1982.
Go down to the radio hut, the radio yurt. I can't think of any other small buildings. Get yourself another radio. Get some extra radios just in case, too.
I always keep a extra supply of radios just in case company comes over and they want to listen to something different.
If you like The Coffee Show, you can find lots of our digital work online as The Coffee Show World of Content, available on every podcasting forum I could find to submit it to, and on YouTube. Simply search for The Coffee Show World of Content.
World of Content!
Oh, very nice. I can put a filter on that now with the digital stuff, but you're right. No, you just do it the old-fashioned way.
I used a filter. It was an old pair of blue jeans. I just put it over my face.
I saw. It was distressing.
It's the same one I use to purify my water here at the house. It's good. It's fine.
No wonder your lemonade is blue rather than pink. That makes a lot. Indigo. Makes more sense. And we'll be back next week with more music and fun when I say that he's Randy.
And he's Keith.
Snappy catchphrase. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of The Coffee Show World of Content. We want to say a very quick thanks to our good friend Jake Monin for our theme song, and let you know that all the incidental music in between is from our friends in the band The Ornery Jacks. Thank you so much to them for writing such great music. You can find all of their tunes and more on the internet. You know how to do that, but we've provided some links in the text description as well for you.
Yes, and I like subscribe notification.
I rang bell and left review and comment.
You sound like the Hunchback.
Well, this is my sanctuary, and also I have a constant ringing in my ears, so fair enough.